What's up guys? Welcome back. Today we are going to be playing with a bunch of new stuff from Fenty. Rihanna just released the Diamond Balm All Over Diamond Veil, as well as a new gloss balm in the Diamond Milk shade. And we're also going to be taking this as an opportunity for me to try the foundation that I have held off on trying for so long on this channel. Oh my god, there's glitter everywhere. Oh no. And I'm like touching my face, realizing things. This is covered in glitter. It's like a greeting card. Oh no, there's gonna be glitter all over my face because of this. There's glitter all over this package. Like, ugh. Guys, don't you know glitter is like craft herpes? I will never get this out of my beauty room. Awesome. Done realizing things. Anyway, I have resisted, that's the word, trying the Fenty Pro Filt'r Soft Matte Longwear Foundation forever. Because I know that it's super, super matte, it's super, super high coverage. Usually if Zoella likes a foundation, I'm probably not gonna be into it. Plus, I went into Sephora actually a couple times and tried this, like not on my skin, but I shade matched myself. And every single time I felt like the shade range was very odd. The cool tones would be lighter than the warm tones would be cooler than the neutrals, and I didn't really know where I fell on it, and I didn't really want to put the time into it. I don't know. There's just a lot of stuff at Sephora to get distracted by. There's glitter inside the package. There's glitter everywhere. Can you see that? So I bit the bullet. I also didn't bother to get shade matched. I just guessed on the Fenty website because at least when I ordered these things, this was the only place that you could get these, was on the Fenty website. So I actually saw these first used. I wasn't even really interested in this release, but I saw them used on Nikki Tutorials' channel. Rihanna's actual dedicated makeup artist used them on Nikki, and I mean, her lighting and everything is epic. I'm sure that it looked really good for that reason, but it takes a lot for me to want to try a cool toned highlight, especially a cool toned collection. And that video did it. I will link the video below because it's actually a really cool video to watch. So I ended up going for the shade 150. I have no idea whether it's going to match. It might be a little too light. I'm not tan right now, so we're about to find out. But we're going to be trying all of these things on my face today, seeing exactly how extra they are. And that's all I have to say about that. So let's put makeup on my face now. I mashed a blackhead, so everything's red now. Awesome! Actually, since it's not as hot outside, I am back to using my, well, that's not helpful, Tatcha, the silk canvas, on my face. I find that I kind of forgot how helpful this stuff is at not just being a primer, but at keeping your makeup from sinking into your pores, which is really nice for the acne prone of us out there. I have become like quietly obsessed with Tatcha in general. I love the dewy skin mist. I use the Camellia One Step cleansing oil every single day to take my makeup off. And that little purple mask is pretty dope too. How do I want to apply this? I saw her apply it with a brush. Like that was actually the preferred means of application. I'm going to use this little IT Cosmetics foundation brush here and give this gal a good shake. I'm so red. I don't know why. I kind of just woke up red this morning. Also, my under eyes are so sunken in. I do not know why. I swear I'm drinking enough water. So anyway, this is the gold standard that now everybody is measuring their foundation collection against from a shade range standpoint, although I think that one of the, dang it, glitter, oh my god, there's glitter all over my face. I'm really sorry, everyone. But yeah, one of the claims actually of, side note, of the Thrive Foundation is that they actually have a shade that's darker than the darkest shade in Fenty, which I think is pretty awesome. This has a smell. Does this have sunscreen in it? Because it smells like sunscreen. It doesn't say it has sunscreen in it. Yeah, it smells like sunscreen. That's really interesting. I already have sunscreen on, but not that I need it. It is rainy as all get out right now. We're kind of getting the overflow from the hurricanes. I hope everybody's okay out in the East Coast. That's a pretty damn good match. Hell yeah, khaki, way to go. This is also a lot thinner of a formula than I was expecting it to be. I really thought that it was going to be like really heavy and of a thick consistency, even though it is super duper matte, apparently, that's, you know, what it's marketed to be. It's still really thin on the skin, and I like that. I like the idea of not being aware of my foundation all day. Okay, so from what I hear from people, it goes on the skin really nice, and then it just like dries down really, really hard. So let's just wait and see. Although that coverage level is really beautiful. I think that it would be a terrifying coverage level if I had not gotten the shade match so dead on, but that is a pretty freaking awesome match. So again, I am shade 150 for my pale but not porcelain, golden to neutral girls out there. The brown-eyed freckled of us out there. So I'm actually going to go in with one of my favorite new products that I keep forgetting to mention in a favorites or to get ready with me. This is the Instant Eye Lift from Trish McEvoy, a brand that I had not heard of before. And I got sent this by Supergreat. This is a lifting and also color correcting concealer base thing. And it's kind of corally peachy pink colored, and it helps a lot with the under eye circles. So I just put a little bit here, and it'll just kind of flatten everything out. I'll put a little bit here too, just where my melasma is. It has a really great scent to it, but it does have a scent to it. Like, I like the scent, but if you don't like a scent, just be aware that that does have a scent to it. Look how nice that is. That's not, I don't have concealer on there, it's just color correction. I have been sleeping so hard lately. It's been raining for over a week now in Austin, which I'm all in on. I love it. But it just makes my internal clock not really kick in and wake me up in the morning. And so I've been just like sleeping and sleeping and sleeping. And I find that when I sleep in, I end up with my eyes looking really sunken in. Sorry, I'm like taking it all in here. So one thing is that Trish McEvoy kind of tried to move things around on my lip area. I don't really like that. The foundation just dries down so much that it's almost like it's already been powdered. So be careful, work quickly. So we're going to go in with some of my favorite concealer. This is the Revolution Conceal and Define. If you're sick of hearing about this, I'm sorry, but I love this. And it's actually really hard to please me with a concealer because I just have a lot of expectations for it. I'm not really willing to put up with really crepey texture underneath my eyes over the course of the day, but I do want coverage. I also like illumination. And this actually does what it says it's gonna do, in that it conceals, defines, and it's also a really good like highlight shade. I don't want to have like, you know, 3 shades of concealer just to be able to conceal and highlight and contour and all of that. Like, you know, good on you, Jackie Ina, for your like 5 shades of making your face look sculpted and gorgeous, but I just don't have the patience. But we are really just using the concealer to highlight because that foundation has such high coverage that I don't think that I needed the concealing factor. Those 2 things are communicating beautifully. The concealer and the foundation. They are cooperating really, really nicely. Dang it, you guys! What if I end up just really loving this foundation? It would be a first that I really love a matte foundation because that's just not my aesthetic. It's not really my choice usually, especially full coverage. I like a dewy medium coverage usually. All right, it doesn't look heavy, but I'm afraid that if I put a full face of powder on top of this, it's going to look really heavy. So I'm actually going to go a lighter weight route here and use the Banana Cream It's Bananas setting powder from Too Faced. And I like this because it is so lightweight. It is great for a foundation that's already trying to dry down on me. So I'm just gonna tap this in all over. It's always tempting when I go on websites where brands really do have a system of all of their products working together, because yes, it would be great if I were to, you know, get a PR package or something like that, and be able to review an entire experience from one company. Just be like, okay, well, I've got the Pro Filt'r base, I've got the foundation, I've got the concealer, I've got the, I don't know if she has a concealer, but I've got the powder, whatever. And I mean, yeah, that's great for like a really scientific experiment, I guess, but we're also talking about reality here, and I don't need that much stinking makeup in my life, especially when I already have a lot of stuff that I like, and I love this powder. This brush from Thrive is sold out right now, and I'm kind of upset about it because you guys know I have a giveaway going on that has this brush in it, and it's not going to be refilled, re-upped, available until November. And so whoever wins my giveaway, I'm really sorry, the brush is going to have to wait like until they restock it. I'm really, really sorry about that. You will get it, but I have no control over that because it's sold out. This is gorgeous. I'm going to put on my bronzer and my blush and everything, and then we will come back and we'll talk about this highlighter and this lip product. BRB, y'all. Okay, it is now pouring down rain outside, so hopefully you like a little bit of ambiance. So one thing here, guys, the foundation did start to oxidize just a little bit. I can feel it just being slightly darker than when I first put it on. I don't know, I haven't watched a ton, at least not recently, of reviews on this product, whether that's a common occurrence. Maybe I should have known that ahead of time. I'm not really sure how to anticipate such things, but it did darken just a touch. Anyway, we are going to now go into the glittery packages. Ooh! This is so pretty. Look at it. Ooh, y'all. This really satisfies all of my like princess urges. I didn't know whether this was going to be like a powder or a cream. It's this really velvety feeling. Like it feels like water on the skin. Very soft glitter, and it blends out really beautifully. We're gonna kind of try and test the limits here, see what I can achieve on my face, whether it's a wearable look or not. And the way that I saw her use this was with kind of a flatter kind of kabuki brush, but I'm gonna start with my regular Thrive fluffy face highlight brush and see what we get. Yeah. That's really like nothing else that I have ever used in my entire life. It is ethereal. It spreads differently. It feels watery on the skin, and it looks wet. It's kind of interesting too, because when you're looking at me straight on, unless the light hits it, it doesn't look wet. But when the light does hit it, it really does, like, it glistens on the skin like wet skin. That is really unreal, especially because it kind of shifts a little bit blue, which I usually would not like. It takes kind of a lot to get me to, you know, deviate from my golden of all things, but this is so interesting because, I mean, it's decidedly glittery, y'all. Like, it's definitely, like, you can see individual pieces of glitter, but I don't know, it's really unique. It's definitely not like anything I have ever used on my face before. Another thing that warrants mentioning here is that this foundation doesn't like you to fuss with it afterwards. I don't really like that. It stuck to my lips like crazy, and then when I tried to kind of get it off of my lips, it doesn't want to go anywhere, and then once it does, it's not a polite kind, it's very, you know, full coverage matte in that sense. Like, you try and move it around, get it off of your lips or something, and it's just like, I don't want to. And then it's ugly when it does. So I'm actually just going to go for kind of like a light coverage coating here on my eyelids and just see if we can get a really pretty, like, wet look on the eyelids from this too. This stuff is wild. It is wild. Like, I don't really still understand what is happening here. I don't really get it. I don't know whether I love it or whether it's like, you know, going to come off too ethereal in person. So let's throw on just a, like, I don't know, a little bit of eyeshadow to add some depth in there, but we'll keep the sort of glisten on the eyes. I'm just going to go into some of the more neutral shades in the Born to Run palette. I'm going to grab a little bit of Weekender right here and just go into the crease so that we have some dimension. So that it's not just glitter, 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 glitter. Weekender is very matte, so that's good. It's interesting how cool toned it is, because everything I wear is warm and I kind of want to stick with that and just let the cool tone of it all just kind of live on its own. So I'm using this shade Still Shot right here, which is a really pretty coral. So I guess we're kind of going for like a silvery coral look today, and I'm into it. I also didn't use an eyeshadow base. I kind of wasn't sure whether I was going to put eyeshadow on or whether I was just going to let this highlight kind of be my eye look. But I like this kind of blown out coral with the silvery blue. I'm just going to deepen that up just a little bit using this shade Baja. And then use Accelerate right here to kind of dampen that a little bit because it's a little too red for my taste. Right in the crease. Using a light touch with the original coral color Still Shot and just really blowing out the edges. And that is all for the pigment on the eyes. I'm going to now kind of take my pinky and I'm going to try and use this kind of as an inner corner. It doesn't have any pigment to it. I think that that's also what's really interesting about it, is that yes, it like shifts blue, silver a little bit, like almost a little bit rainbowy, almost a little bit hollow, but it doesn't actually lay down like a white pigment underneath or something like that. Which I think is really cool because Fenty makes a really big point of being applicable to all skin tones, and so the fact that it doesn't kind of lay down an ashy base layer I think is going to make it better for all skin tones. Yeah, you could very easily just get like beautifully carried away with this. This is just magic. Magic! It's so much fun. I can totally see now why in that video with Nikki Tutorials, they just kept putting it on, putting on more and more and more. It's just a really amazing texture to play with, and it looks like absolute magic up close. So I think that I want to let the eyes kind of stand alone, and so I'm going to go in with a nude lip. I'm going to go in with Megan, which is a matte nude from Thrive. I am not the best at putting these kinds of things on. Trying to put on a matte lip with this matte of a foundation is a very high stakes game, but I think we did okay. And I'm going to now put over top of that the new Gloss Bomb in Diamond Milk. Yeah, it's in my purse. I don't even have it with me because I'm so obsessed with it. I wear it all the time. I love the Gloss Bomb in Fenty Glow, and I mean, I wear it absolutely all the time. So I'm very interested to see what this clear gloss, if it's anything special. And I'm just gonna throw this over top of the matte here. So it does a gorgeous job of kind of smoothing out all the harsh lines that I might have gotten from using a matte lip, which I don't usually go for a matte lip for that reason. Okay guys, so I made a few changes. I took the matte lip off and just went with the Gloss Bomb on its own to kind of see how it did, and I love it. It's very wearable, it's very comfortable. I like it just as much as I like the other one. And this highlighter is so special occasion. Like, it makes me feel really special. Like, there's just something about this ethereal glow. It is like nothing else that I have ever seen in a highlighter or a makeup product, even an eyeshadow before. I just never seen anything behave quite like this highlighter. So while it doesn't necessarily just like fold naturally into my everyday routine, it is a unique product. and not in the way that's like different for different sake. Like, I think it's really cool and valuable that this product exists. I think Rihanna's doing some really cool stuff where she is looking at her everyday wants from makeup and then creating the pieces that she feels like are missing from her routine that other people would probably like too. I feel like this highlighter right here is a new kind of product. It's just not, I don't think that this really falls into another like highlighter category. I feel like Rihanna said, I'm gonna create a new makeup product, an entirely new genre of makeup product, and this highlight is that. Let me show you guys up close, because it really is. I'm hoping it's coming through on camera. If it's not coming through on camera, again, I'm going to link the Nikki Tutorials video down below where she has this put on her face. It really is one of the weirdest products I've ever used. It is just a very freaking interesting, unique product. So look at this. Let's turn this light away. There we go. So you can see that my skin looks, come on baby, wet? It looks wet. And this is not a wet product. This is a powder product that has kind of a funny, like, flecky texture when you touch it. It's not completely like velvety smooth. It's so wild. It's so wild. And it looks even different on camera than it does in person. In person, you can definitely see the flecks of glitter more clearly, but I can't stop looking at this. It's so interesting. And the lip has the same kind of vibe to it, but I don't think that it's necessarily like an undupable shade. I think that it's cool that it came out as a collection, but this is a really pretty glittery lip gloss that fills in all the ridges and everything on your lips, but it's not as like breathtaking and groundbreaking as this friggin' highlighter. I like don't understand this. So, oh yeah, I forgot to say the shade is actually called How Many Carats? That said, guys, I don't love this foundation. I think it looks really pretty right now, but you touch it, it betrays you. You touch it with your fingernail, it betrays you. It is so heavy and it is so thick feeling on the skin, which is wild because it comes out of that little pump so thin and watery, but when it gets on the face, you guys, I mean, she is like a shellacking of makeup. This is a very heavy feeling foundation, and you guys know how I feel about that. I mean, no one's like, yeah, I want a heavy feeling foundation, but some people don't really mind. I mind. I've been wearing a lot of really beautiful foundations lately that have really spoiled me rotten. The best lately being the Buildable Blur CC Cream from Thrive. I can wear this and completely forget about it. It is so gorgeous. I can wear it all day. I look at myself in the mirror later and nothing's doing anything crazy. And it's just spoiled me rotten on putting something like this on my face that, yes, Rihanna is going to photograph beautifully, but oh man. Oh man! I can't even see my face under there, and I understand that that's the point of a full coverage foundation. If you're looking for a full coverage foundation, girl, you got you a full coverage foundation in this, but that's not my aesthetic. I don't like that I can see every single pore, and I kind of don't like perfection as an aesthetic, because then everything shows. So it is 11:54. I will check in with you guys at the end of my day and let you know how this wore. I'm not sure how much like the weather is going to influence the way that this behaves over the course of the day, but taking all those things into consideration, you know, this is real life, I will check in with you guys at the end of my day and show you whether my suspicions were confirmed or whether I've just, you know, had my socks knocked off and this becomes my wedding foundation. Who knows? But I will see you guys in 8 hours. I wonder if you can tell by the lighting that it is not late at night. It's actually only about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and that is because I have places that I need to go. We have to go to a tasting for the wedding, for what's it called? The rehearsal dinner. And I cannot go looking like this. It's just, this is like, I'm kind of embarrassed of my face right now, and here's why. First of all, this has oxidized to such a gross degree that it doesn't look like my face anymore. It has turned into an entirely different like skin color. I don't know if you can see that, but it's like, it's very different from my neck. It's icky, and it is so greasy for being a matte finish foundation. It is not hot outside today. It's actually really nice, and this is just really yucky. I really don't like it. It's super, super heavy on my face. I feel very, very conscious of it, and it's just kind of crawling around. The finish is nice. I mean, it's very, like, I don't know, it's smooth, I guess you would say. Like, it looks very, like, plasticky. I can't really describe it any other way other than, like, plasticky. That's what it kind of looks like on my skin. It looks like I have, like, a resin coating on my face, but it's very uncomfortable. It's not the look that I was going for, and I can't believe, like, how much the shade betrayed me. I'm really annoyed by how good of a shade match it was when I put it on, and how nasty of a color it kind of turned over the course of the day. So this is 4 hours later. I have got to go scrub my face because I cannot go anywhere looking like this. This is gross. I would rather go with no makeup at all. So guys, those are my final thoughts here. This, can you believe that, I mean, I know that, like, that looks lighter because it's in that bottle, but let's take this real quick. I mean, let's put it someplace where I don't have, like, bronzer or something. Look at the shade difference between a freshly applied touch of that foundation and what it has turned into on my face. Like, that is so unreasonable. Look at that. Look at that color difference. That is so embarrassing. Ew. You guys know I always talk about how a foundation wears over the course of the day as whether it is reasonable or unreasonable, and this is a very unreasonable foundation. I just don't like it at all, and I don't think that it is at all what I would hope to expect out of something like this, especially for such an acclaimed line of foundations that everybody is hunting down, chasing down this ideal 40 shades for their foundation line. Like, guys, what good is 40 shades when it changes 2 shades 2 hours after you put it on your face? Like, that's not good. That's not my $45 worth or whatever it is. So the foundation is a total freaking pass for me, but this is really, really cool, like I said, and the lip gloss is pretty easy to love. I'm not mad about that at all. But yeah, guys, I am glad that I finally bit the bullet and tried this. I am disappointed that, you know, it did exactly kind of what I expected it to. Actually, I was expecting it to wear really heavily and kind of move around on me. I was not expecting the oxidation, and the oxidation is actually the most disappointing part. So guys, if you appreciate this honest review, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. If you'd like to keep hanging out with me on this channel, hit the button down below and subscribe. I would love it if you guys did. Thank you so freaking much for watching today and for hanging out with me, and I'm going to go wash my face now.